Hi, I'm Tim Lohmann. I'm from Keltbray. I'm currently the Director of Strategic Engineering for Keltbray. Keltbray is a large civil engineering contractor. We make things, we dig holes, we destroy things, and in terms of demolition, and we're working primarily in transforming, the sectors we work in are primarily in transforming the existing infrastructure into new. So there's lots of work in the energy sector, lots of work in the renewable sector, and still a fair proportion of work in the commercial property market. I was committed to sport, and to the extent that I failed to satisfy the exams at the first two universities. Through that sport, I was offered an opportunity to work in construction in 1989 by a friend at a sports club. And I then I worked for O'Rourke, as was then, became Lang O'Rourke, as a labourer. And after a few years, they put me on a degree course. I did my civil engineering degree 1 day a week. Graduated in 95, got chartered as a civil engineer in 96 and a structural engineer in 97. And since then, I've had a variety of roles in contracting and consulting, from project manager, operations director, technical director, engineering managing director. A variety of roles. That one of the joys of construction and our sector is that anything's possible. It doesn't really matter what you start with. It's if you commit to what you're doing, opportunities arise, huge opportunities. We see a lot of boilerplate text in CVs, and if you're going to copy what someone else does, you're wasting space on your own CV. Tell us about you, the wider you, not just the I'm going to get a 2-1, but the I play rugby, I go running, I'm involved in the knitting club, I cook competitively, all these pieces that show that you're a wider rounded human that can commit and can deliver. They're the things employers want to know about, not the stuff that appears on template CVs. A lot of people come into engineering thinking it's going to be one thing. Engineering is not. Engineering is primarily problem solving. It's not doing sums. It's not rote behaviour. That will disappear in the coming years. It's communication skills. It's analytical problem solving skills that can be backed up with good solid maths are key. Or good solid reasoning, good solid logic. It's very easy in some pieces to focus on the bits that you think you can get to a precise answer on. What is the bending moment in this beam? What is the performance of this pile? Those skills are less and less relevant. When I started, it was how did you minimize material? How did you minimize cost? Now it is how do you optimize safety? How do you minimize carbon? How do you ensure appropriate interaction with the community? And those wider things that are harder for engineers often to make tangible are key to a lot of decisions that are made in how we do work now. Be braver. The opportunities are there. You always look at the people who you think have done well, and if you asked each of them what they'd say, it was, I took too long to find my feet, too long to believe in me. I'm doing a lot of work at the moment with some people coming out of sports, and they kind of competed at high international Olympic level, and they don't believe they're employable. And you think, hang on, the traits you've got are massively believable. And I don't know how we develop young people who have got so little self-belief. Or perhaps it just takes us longer to believe in ourselves, but it's that key bit of trust that you're probably better than you think you are. The feeling that you've achieved something. I worked in consultants and also contractors, and the tangibility of what you achieve if you're in the contracting world is enormous. One of our technicians, well, he started with us as an apprentice, and then moved to degree apprentice, and he was a successful guy in our technician team, and then moved into our engineering design team, and then we got him a placement on Hinckley, and the enthusiasm with which he came next time I saw him, the enthusiasm with which he came back to the piece. I'm doing something, I can see concrete being poured. The world is different today to what it was yesterday because of what I did today. And that tangibility of outcome is really motivating for people. Industry struggles with turning clever graduates into useful people. And there is a massive difference between taught knowledge and experiential knowledge, particularly when it comes to operations on site. There is very little on how do you go about building things, how do you manage the processes, how do you ensure safety. Courses that give students a grounding in the challenges they're likely to see and the tools to deal with those challenges mean that someone goes from graduate to useful much quicker. And it's to be applauded that Swansea have put the effort into developing these courses and to engaging with industry to provide the content. And hopefully what it will lead to is a demand for the graduates of this course being actually they come with a useful skill set and they're value added already. So whilst you wouldn't probably put them as temporary works coordinator on a big job today, they at least know the framework and they'll be at it quicker than someone who knows how to design a pile cap but nothing else. Current practice is very hard to write down, we're all too busy. We all like talking about ourselves, we all like talking about what we're doing. It's a thing, and so it's very easy to stay current if you're engaging with current practitioners. Someone said to me, when are you going to write down what you've learnt? Will it be a retirement project? Whereas in fact, by the time I retire, what I've learnt will probably be largely irrelevant. And so the validity and the importance of the engagement of courses like this with industry practitioners, probably even younger ones than me, there are younger ones than me out there, who can communicate about the challenges and the opportunities that are there, and what do we do in practice? What is the current ways of working that probably haven't been captured in textbooks yet, and by the time they are captured in textbooks will be redundant. I think it's about awareness of what's going on in industry. The challenges are the same, and we've got rid of it because it wasn't sustainable. The old motto of the civils was harnessing the great forces of nature for the benefit of mankind. And when you reflect back on the intent of that, albeit it sounds a bit non-sustainable, but in fact it was about how do we enable us to make the world a better place. What my understanding of what's been achieved here with the MSc course is that people have been prepared not to go and learn the next bit, but they've been prepared to go to work straight away and to get into their careers and to start delivering real change, even be it on the level they can influence, but to have the ambition to then go, well, actually I'm good enough, I'm far enough up the ladder already that I can do the next bit quicker. And so that, I think, is industry focus, delivery focus is key. There's always a place for the pure academic research, there's always a place for the pure academic study of subject, but there has to be applicability in what we do. Yes, so some job roles will cease to exist. For example, well, if you take it to the basic level, someone doing calculations to size structural elements will stop being a thing very shortly. You can buy software £100 a month that will do all that for you. There will, however, someone still be breaking a pile. So job roles will change. And so it comes back to the key skills. What differentiates us from the technologically advanced piece? And I think that's going to be about interaction and communication skills, and about problem solving and definition. Too often we expect closed form solutions to closed form problems. In the real world, there are very few closed problems, let alone closed solutions. And that appreciation, the wider piece, is where I think engineers of the future, or everyone in the future, will be working, because the rote learning jobs, the can it be mechanised jobs will be mechanised faster than we can even dream of. You can find our live roles now on keltbray.com.